I want you to take your time, listen to this interview from the newly appointed Lieutenant Olufemi Olatunbosun, this Chief of Army Staff. He was, because of this insecurity in the north, right? He's traveled. He was being interviewed by AIT. Now he says something very important that I want you to listen to so that you know where we are in terms of insecurity, the problem we are facing and the problem ahead of us. See, I bet you don't want to miss what this man said. Very important. Please take your time, listen to this video. We'll come back.
Well, I wouldn't say particularly that it's going to be a new strategy, because the fact here is that there are some issues that need to be resolved, politically, because we can't rely permanently on kinetic approach to issues. So with that, I'm going to meet the governor of the state and deliberate with him to see how we can resolve these issues politically. We're talking about our aspect of the job. We're going to see how we can enhance the security of this place by inducting more men, inducting more enablers, and maybe from there we'll take it on.
Okay, sir, you just said something about we're going to ask about their request for more personnel in Plateau State. So what's the plan to this?
I've just told you now that I'm going to bring in more men. But the underlying factor has to be addressed. Because even if you deploy the entire Nigerian army in Plateau State, if the underlying factors are not addressed, we can't achieve much.
Has there been any arrests so far, sir?
Well, with the police, I think that some arrests have been made.
Alpha, did you listen to what he said? Oh, you did not listen. You were busy pressing your phone. You didn't listen to what he said. Do you want me to remind you? Hear it once again.
Well, I wouldn't say particularly that it's going to be a new strategy, because the fact here is that there are some issues that need to be resolved, politically, because we can't rely permanently on kinetic approach to issues. So with that, I'm going to meet the governor of the state and deliberate with him to see how we can resolve these issues politically. We're talking about our aspect of the job. We're going to see how we can enhance the security of this place by inducting more men, inducting more enablers, and maybe from there we'll take it on.
Okay, sir, you just said something about we're going to ask about their request for more personnel in Plateau State. So what's the plan to this?
I've just told you now that I'm going to bring in more men. But the underlying factor has to be addressed. Because even if you deploy the entire Nigerian army in Plateau State, if the underlying factors are not addressed, we can't achieve much.
Has there been any arrests so far, sir?
Well, with the police, I think that some arrests have been made.
Alpha, I hope you understand. I hope you understand what he said. He said the problem of insecurity in Nigeria in the north is beyond just insecurity. It's political. You and I know this before. It's political. And there are some underlying issues that needs to be resolved. Question is, what is that underlying issue that needs to be resolved before we can solve the problem of insecurity? He needs to tell us. That is to say, that underlying issues has not been resolved, we go nowhere. Insecurity, zero. It can only get worse, not get better. This man is telling you, the newly appointed Chief of Army Staff, who took over after the indisposition of Lagbaja, right? There's a lot of problem going on in the country now. Insecurity from Enugu State. I think another attack in Enugu State yesterday, another attack in another community. The last week that those women came to protest half naked was Adani and the other community. After that one, they strike again in another community in that state, Enugu State. Then, a day after, 2 days after, the strike in Kogi State. The women in Kogi State, they half naked protesting against insecurity in their state, that they are tired. Fulani has taken over. Plateau State problem, the same thing. That's where this man made this statement now. That even if they deploy all the military in Nigeria to Plateau State, only Plateau State to solve the problem of insecurity in Plateau State, they cannot do it. He's telling you, deploying all the military, all the security agencies to Plateau State to fight the insecurity in that one state, Plateau State, not big rich Kano, that they cannot solve it. So if they cannot solve it, one state, the same military that want to save all the 37 states or the 36 states, they say, I doubt it. No, it's not possible. Now, the problem is this is political. What is the underlying issues that needs to be resolved? Who involved in that? Don't forget this this governor, Northern governor, Bauchi State governor. He came on national TV to say the sponsors of this insecurity bandits in the north are government officials, are the ones sponsoring these bandits in the north. But he did not mention names. He knows that he knows them. He knows them, but he did not mention names. But that would have been enough for security agencies to work on that information, work with him. He cannot reveal the names openly on the national TV. But if the security agencies work with him, they will be able to find some information from him that will enable them to fight these people. Don't forget, the killing in that Plateau state, nobody has been arrested so far. No arrest has been made so far. We are just swimming, wallowing in this insecurity. The only reason why some people do not even see this as a concern or as a problem, the problem is in your own state or where you are living now. Probably you are living in a city because you are only complaining about you don't have food to eat. Food is very expensive. Things are very expensive. You can't do this. Transportation expensive. Nothing is affordable again. That one is only your problem now, right? At least where you are living, a little bit safe because you live in a town, right? These people, they always strike in villages. Now, you are complaining about food expensive. That's the only thing. Probably light. There's no lighting, no NEPA failure, right? Those are the only thing now you are complaining. People in those villages, they are complaining of the same thing you are complaining. Then, additionally, they are complaining about insecurity. They can't even farm. That farm is what they are using to feed themselves, to feed their families. You, at least, you can still go to your work. You can still get a bus, drive your car, go to your work, come back home. The salary is not enough for you to do all those things, right? They are still paying you. Don't forget that too. But these people in the villages that you don't know, when we speak about it, they say we are lying, that it's not true. These people, their work, just like you are working, they pay you salary. This farm is what they are doing. Is their farm, is their salary, where they make money to feed themselves, to feed their family. Probably send money from that same village to people in the city who are not doing well, who are not able to secure job yet. Isn't it? But now, this insecurity we are talking about, bandits, Boko Haram, Fulani herdsmen, has sent them away from their farmland, destroyed their crops and everything. Now they cannot farm. Now they cannot sleep and close their eyes. Now their house where they are living in the villages, they are not safe. Double wahala for dead body. You see, they have a lot of problems. And now the chief of army staff is telling you that even if you deploy all the military in Nigeria to one state, they cannot solve it until the underlying issue is being resolved. What is the underlying issue? I don't know. He needs to tell us. That is to say, we have problems in this country. We have a long way to go. The Enugu state problem is not going to stop anytime soon. Kogi state is not going to stop anytime soon. Anyways, for you to further understand what I'm saying, this country, we are not one. They are forcing us to be together. Watch this video to understand. And please share this video. Very, very important.
Now, what you are doing now, you want to start, advancing the interest of those religious groups to actually now confirm that Nigeria is an Islamic state. And let me tell you something that people don't know. This thing was caused by the British. Between 1900 and 1960, they knew that they cannot govern the North except they allowed them to practice their religion, and they were using their religious leader to basically govern them. It is called indirect rule. Immediately after independence, 1960, the British knew that they shouldn't have forged these two people together. They know. But because they want to achieve the divide and rule and to be able to conquer and take our resources and steal whatever they want to steal over the years, they merged these two people together. They could not govern the North and South under one religious or administration. They know. So they're not even independent and merged you people to work together. That was why the 1960 coup started. That was how the Civil War started. Now, 86, Babangida came with the OIC stuff, trying to Islamize us. It didn't work. In 2000, when 1999, 2000, when Obasanjo came, he permitted them to start practicing Sharia. Today now, they want to consolidate it. Once you remove that person, all of us, whether you are Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, Jukun, Christian, traditional, you are now under the law, the Islamic law, because they put it in the constitution.
In fact, listening to the member that was representing Ahoda East, Abu Anudua Federal Constituency, River State, I want to get his words. He said personal matters that was envisaged, he says, by the people who drafted this constitution. And I want to quote him. The implication is, if the word personal is removed, Islamic law would have broader implications. The word personal was put there for a reason. Let's talk a bit about this whole conversation about Islamizing the country with our population and our dynamics. Is it possible that someone can sneak this in at some point and force all of us under some sort of regulation that we do not ascribe to? Is it possible that this can happen in this country?
It is possible, and don't be deceived. It's going to happen. Do you know Constantinople? Today's Turkey? They were almost 98% Christian before now. Today, it's an Islamic country. I did Islam in my master's program, and I was trained by Professor Alijani. He's a Persian. He's an Iranian American. And I scored A. That's excellent in Islam. So I know them. It may take them 1,000 years to Islamize Nigeria. So they will take it slowly, gradually. They don't forget. All of us will be dead after some time. Our children that don't care, all this Gen Z will come. They will still Islamize this country. If they can do it in Turkey, today's Turkey, what stops you? Why do you think they won't do it here? Except we take steps now, because we are the ones that are talking about these things. Our next generation in 50 years will not even care. You understand? So I'm thinking that if some part of the country, I don't want to be specific, if they feel strongly about an ideology, a religious, I think they can restrict it to their area. And I think maybe Tinubu should do well by developing this issue of regional autonomy where everybody should organize themselves, or at worst, let the country actually go apart, and you can do whatever you want in your area. I've come to that conclusion that I don't think we can stay together because of this very strong belief about religion. So it's either we stay together, or people should mind their religion and stay where they are and practice what they want. Imposing it on others is wrong. I study Islam, and I don't want to talk blasphemy here. If I start talking about Islam in the next 3 hours, we will not live here.
No, we don't want you to talk blasphemy either. Talking about our country, we are not a religious country, so to on paper. We're a secular nation. What kinds of conversations should we be having with the Nigerian people, especially the younger generation, about how to ensure that we remain secular, where you can practice your religion in any part of the country that you please without imposing your views or belief systems on any other person? What kind of conversations should we be having? And what should our lawmakers be thinking at the back of their minds? At least they've made the first step, which is dropping this bill and ensuring that it doesn't go through. But in subsequent conversations that you said will inevitably come up, what should we be doing as a people to ensure this doesn't happen?
I'm going to be extreme. For me, if you look at Sudan, what we have now, North Sudan, South Sudan, I think we should have Northern Nigeria and Southern. Then they can practice whatever they want. There's no dialogue because they will not stop. I've told you it may take 1,000 years. They will still do it. Or if you let everybody go their way, maybe you have enough.
That is it.
They remain there, and you have the sovereignty down south. Then you can do what you want. Or if you remain and you think you can talk to your Gen Z and people that don't care about anything, it will happen. It took hundreds of years before Turkey, Constantinople, Istanbul was converted completely today. And if you look at history will tell you that you cannot assuage these people. Who owns those banks? I did a lot of research, and I want our audience to go and find out the owner of Taj Bank and the other bank. Then the picture will start getting clear to you. You have the Jaiz Bank and you have the Taj Bank. It is an open source information. Go on the internet, the board of directors, you will see the shareholders. I don't want to mention them on national television. Go and do your research. And you begin to understand what I said, that people have been sponsoring terrorism because they want to Islamize Nigeria. Now Tinubu has come, and it's a little bit very hard on them. That section, the kinetic approach, is failing. So they are now trying to bring it through the constitution, want to legalize it. If we cannot go through the bush and kill as many people, and they are still resisting us, and this man has come and is fighting this is just killing all the fighters, then let us go to the house and bring it in through the back door. We just remove that clause, personal. They will not know, they will not pay attention. They will just, and that is it. They will still do this thing. Go and find out the owners of those banks. They are the ones sponsoring these narratives. And I always say it on television, who are the sponsors? Those guys speaking in the house, they are just paid to do that. And with time, they're going to bribe the remaining ones, and they will pass it. If not this year, it may be 10 years time. If it's not 10 years time, it may be 50 years time. They are going to Islamize this country. But I think the solution, what we should be discussing with people should try to understand we are not the same people. The North and South are not the same. The British understood. That's what they are doing indirectly. And they deliberately merge us so that we can continue to fight like this, and they can continue to take our resources away.
Speaking about the British.